welcome back everyone for another video. So for those of you guys who are actually following my Instagram account, you guys will know what today's little Bible study is on. For those of you guys who are not following my Instagram account, I post an event calendar either on, or actually, okay, it's supposed to be on the first of the month. Unfortunately, this month I posted a little late. Point is, I post an event calendar of every single video I post in a single month on my Instagram account, which is in the description below. That way you guys can see what videos I'm posting for like next week, the week after that, for every single time I'm posting this month. So for this month and today, I had posted that I was going to continue my Mathew study. It is actually going to be my Mathew 5.1, which means I am doing half of Mathew 5 today. The reason why I'm doing half of it is because there is a ton of information in Mathew 5 and I don't want to cramp it all into one short video and miss something or not explain something correctly enough to where it just makes it confusing. I want to be able to I obviously cannot talk today. I want to be able to lay out exactly what today's study is between 1 through 26, I think it is. Up into the end of the anger parts, and that is for today's. The next Monday after this, no, it's not next Monday, but the Monday after that one will be the rest of Mathew 5, and it'll continue with the rest of it. But that way, I can explain everything I can in chapter 5 here, or the first part of it, and not have it be so confusing and so complicated. Now, the other thing I'm going to do today, I'm going to do differently is, right now you guys can see me face to face. I am actually going to have it pointing down at my Bible today. The reason why I'm doing that is because I have been putting in pages into my Bible. By that, here, I'll show you one real quick, because I just put in Mathew 5s and it's not done drying. The glue isn't. Like I said, if you're also following my Instagram account, you guys will be able to see what I'm talking about when I'm by these pages I'm putting in. So here is, Genesis 15. So Genesis 15. Here is a page I literally glued into my Bible. It has the notes I took for Genesis 16, the angel of the Lord, circumcision. And see, it is literally an additional page into my Bible. I also have one, if we go a little bit back, this one here on Genesis 18, and it involved the evangelism pattern, homosexuality, and Lot's progression. And I have more additional sides on the back side. I already have quite a few pages in my Bible throughout already now. And like I said, I just put in a page this morning for Mathew 5. So I'll show you guys. I mean, you guys are going to be able to see when I point it down at the Bible. But yes, today I want to have today's study pointed directly at the Bible because, like I said, I have a bunch of notes. And because I did just put in a new page for Mathew 5. So here's all of Mathew 5. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up getting more notes from Mathew 5. So I left this completely open. Not to mention, I might just put the rest of Mathew 5s on the back side of this one anyways, just to make it less pages in between and not having to constantly put in like page here, page there, and it's like literally just page in between. Put this back in my Bible. So yes, let's go ahead and get into chapter 5. Alright, so here is the overview of chapter 5. So here I have the actual additional page I put in with the sticky notes I had made on chapter 1 through 26. I just kind of stuck them on here. I haven't done anything with them. I haven't decorated yet. If you guys are actually watching my Instagram account, you guys will see I posted some photos yesterday of Genesis 1s where I have actual little washi tape, kind of just decorating the edges of it. I have some stickers on the corners of it. It actually looks really nice. This one I just put together today for this Bible study, and I haven't got the chance to actually decorate it. The backside is blank. More than likely, as I explained already, I will probably end up putting so those notes go all the way down to here, right? So more than likely, when I take the rest of these notes on the rest of Matthew 5, I will have more sticky notes. And instead of putting in an additional page right here, which will give it two kind of stiff piece of paper, I will just probably use the back side of this one and put like another sticker like this one that says 26 through to the end of the verse, the end of the chapter, and I will just put all of the sticky notes for the rest of the chapter on here instead of just adding an additional page when it's kind of not necessary. I will probably still put little side notes and so things like this on the side of it, but I won't actually probably put in an additional page here or anything. So let's go ahead and get into the reading of it. I'm not going to read the entire chapter since I'm not doing the entire chapter. I'm literally just going to read down to the end of 26, and then we'll go into the notes I have. If I can get my camera to actually just focus. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into this. So this is the Sermon on the Mount, and I'm reading the ESV version. So it says, "Seeing the crowds, he went up on the mountain, and when he sat down, his disciples came to him. And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when others revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven. For so they persecuted the prophets who were before you. You are the salt of the earth, but if salt has lost its taste, how shall saltiness be restored? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled under people's feet. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. For truly I say to you, until heaven and earth pass away, not an iota, not a dot will pass from the law until all is accomplished. Therefore, whoever relaxes one or the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever does them and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I tell you, unless your righteousness exceeds that of the scribes and the Pharisees, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. You have heard that it is said to those of old, you shall not murder, and whoever murders will be liable to judgment. But I say to you that whoever is angry with his brother will be liable to judgment. Whoever insults his brother will be liable to the council, and whoever you say, you fool, will be liable to the hell of fire. So if you are offering your gift at the altar, and there remember that your brother has something against you, leave your gift before. Whoops, I just completely lost what I'm saying. Forgive, leave your gift before the altar and go. First be reconciled to your brother, and then come and offer your gift. Come to terms quickly with your accuser while you are going with him to court, lest your accuser hand you over to the judge and the judge to the guard, and you be put in prison. Truly I say to you, you will never get out until you have paid the last penny. Alright, and that is the end of what I'm calling 5.1. Okay, so Matthew 5.1. Alright, so a lot of my notes, especially like these ones right here, and I think these ones and this one, I got these notes when I watched the sermon by Greg Glory, and a lot of these notes here are by so I'm gonna link the sermon I did that I watched for this, so you guys can go watch it yourself in case what I'm saying does not make sense. I took the best notes that I possibly could on his of his sermon, but I'm not Greg Glory, so I will reference his video in the description below, but I will explain as best I could. Alright, so the first thing is I want to mention is believers only. That's what this whole entire chapter is for believers, okay? And he sat down to his disciples. So he's literally he's saying this for his disciples because they're already believers. So he went up to the mountain, which I want to point out, the mountain is referring to hills, the hillside near Capernaum. And of course, obviously, I wanted to point out that it's referring to Jesus. Okay. So the first thing we get into is the Beatitudes, which I like to call the beautiful attitudes. Okay, and he's teaching them. He taught them. So like again, I'm mentioning the fact is that he's teaching his disciples. I'm going to move this actually. So he is teaching his disciples. That is what I wanted to point out specifically. Alright, now, when it says blessed, okay, I want to point out blessed is equaling happy. Okay? So when it says blessed, it means happy. So happy are the poor in spirits. And what I mean by poor in spirit, I mean the lost, the hopeless, the people who are in need of a savior, because theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So happy are those who mourn. So happy people are unhappy people. Okay? For those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, and what I mean meek is, I mean like the quiet, the gentle people, the submissive to God, the easily, they're like easily imposed on. Okay, so the gentle people, for they shall inherit the earth. And then you have like the happy, are the ones who are hungry and thirsty, like they're for God. They're always wanting to learn. For they have for righteousness, and they shall be satisfied. So they should be spiritually hungry, and they will be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful. I mean, obviously, if you merciful being this is emphasizing with the people who don't know Jesus. For they shall receive mercy. Blessed are the pure. So like a holy person, where their single focus is on Christ, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers. Like the peacemakers are those who they speak the gospel of peace. They are trying to basically the whole entire gospel they're trying to do. They're trying to speak peace. They're supposed to be trying to unify. Okay, for they shall be called sons or daughters of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted. Okay, persecuted for righteousness, for their kingdom of heaven. Okay, people who don't like that Christians will be persecuted. Okay, unfortunately, if you are a Christian, you're gonna be persecuted. That kind of comes with the territory. Okay. So it says, blessed are you when you revile and persecute and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven, for so they persecuted prophets who were before you. Okay, so if you're persecuted for righteousness' sake, you are doing your job as a child of God, because this, like I said, people don't like Christians. People don't like Jesus. They don't like what he stands for. They don't like what he's doing. And if you're doing your job as a Christian, as a child of God, that means you're doing what he's doing, and you're gonna get persecuted because it comes with the territory of being a Christian, unfortunately. Okay. So now we go into the salt and light, which this is probably one of my favorite sections. So it says, "You are the salt of the earth, but if salt has lost its taste, how shall its saltiness be restored?" Now, I want to add in here, salt adds flavor to food, and we show Christ to the world. That's basically what it's saying. We are salt. Okay? So the purpose of salt is taste. Okay? And the point out here is like salt was very valuable back then. Okay? At that point, it was just some kind of add to the food. Okay? So if we are not I'm trying to explain this as best I can. We are supposed to be showing what we know, what we're telling people about Christ, telling people about Jesus, telling people about the gospel, and we're supposed to be trying to add, quote unquote, salt or purpose to the world. And if you're not doing that, then you basically losing your flavor, which means you are good for nothing, to be thrown out and trampled under people's feet. Okay? Then it goes into saying, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden." Okay? What it means by that, it is a great compliment and responsibility, because of the point, Jesus, in the very beginning of John, it had mentioned how that Jesus was the light. Okay? And our job is literally to illuminate and to expose what is going on, and telling people about Jesus. And it says here, "In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven." Alright, so one thing I forgot to do before I continue on to the next section is I forgot to mention these. So normally I'm used to my pages all being out all one together, and I'm actually still able to see both things and not having to flip backwards, but it's going to take me a little bit to get used to. But I do have some few notes on what is between here. So I have reference between, for the Beatitudes, Matthew 10:34 and 2 Timothy 2:26, as come as you are. Now, to be happy is this is referring to right here, okay? So family and friends provide the best antidote to happiness. And then materials, don't make you happy. Those are worldly things. So if you want to be happy, be grateful for what you have. Forgiving people are happy people. And a happy person will be a holy person. I think that's, yep, so far I'm caught up. Alright, so then I go into the Christ came to fulfill the law parts. Okay, so this is Jesus' purpose on earth. Okay, this is the reason why he came to earth in the first place. Okay, he says, "I have not come to abolish the law or the prophets." He is literally saying, for truly I say to you, until heaven and earth pass away, not an iota or a dot will pass from the law until all is accomplished. So he is coming here to fulfill them, to make sure that they are accomplished, not to abolish them. Okay? That is the whole entire point to this. So he had authority apart from the law of Moses, but not in contradiction to it. Okay? And just so you know, iota and dot, those are small marks in just the Hebrew writing. Okay? That is literally all it is. So he didn't come to destroy the word of God, but to free it from the Pharisees and the way the scribes had wrongly interpreted it. So not only the ideas, but the word themselves are important. Okay, so then we go and get into the commandments, okay, how they are meant to be obeyed as explained and fulfilled by Jesus' life and teachings. Okay, then I have a reference here, which I want to go back to the page and read that to you for you guys. Whoops. Alright, right here. So, the Christian is done with the law as a means of gaining a righteous standing before God. One passage that explains that is Galatians 2:21. Okay. And then the part to be fulfilled one is it says, this is what is said in verse 18, and it is true in a few different senses. It is the assurance that Jesus himself fulfilled the law by his perfect obedience. It is the assurance that Jesus fulfilled the law in us by his perfect obedience. And it is the assurance that God's plan will never be set aside until all things are fulfilled. So, yeah. Alright. Okay, so last part here. It says, for I tell you, unless your righteousness stands that the scribes and the Pharisees, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. So I wanted to point out, it's like how? It's like you need Jesus for this. I really want to emphasize this. You really need Jesus for that. Then we go get into the anger parts. Okay. And this is probably one of my biggest things that we should be really focusing on, because there are a lot of people who are angry today. And this is really important. So he says, you have heard that it is said, and I want to point out the fact that he's pointing out that they've studied the law of Moses and it taught them not to murder. But I say to you, and this is he's showing his authority right here. Okay, he's saying to you, everyone who is angry with his brother will be liable to judgment. So right there, he's basically saying that the law is true, but Jesus is saying that anything short of murder is also not allowed. Which is why he pointed out, you fool, you will be liable to hell of fire. So raka, which is another word for fool, is express contempt for their intelligence, contempt for their character. All right. And he's basically saying here is like you are offering your gift at the altar. Leave your gift there before and go, first be reconciled with your brother. So this is important. Reconcile with your brother and then come and offer your gift. Come to terms quickly with the accuser while you are going with him to court, lest your accuser hand you over to the judge and the judge to the guard, and you will be in prison. Truly I say to you, you will never get out until you have paid the last penny. So I really want to point this out. It says, settle your anger and your malice with one another before you get to the actual court. Okay, it's a figure of speech. So here I have another thing for it. This one here. So it says, Jesus spoke with figures of speech. The ultimate penalty one pays at the hands of the judge, the officer, and the prison could never be satisfied with money, the last penny. Yet the reality suggested by these strong figures of speech reminds us that the suffering of eternity is indeed eternal. So he's literally pointing out that this is something really important to reconcile, okay? Anger needs to be put aside. You need to make up with your brother, your family, whoever that is, and walk with them. Otherwise, because your accuser, the person who's mad at you, could hand you over to the judge and the judge to the guard, and you will be put in prison, aka hell. So yes, and that is all the notes I have for 1 through 26. And now I need to go decorate these and make it a little more prettier. And so yes, that is all I have for chapter 5.1. Not next week. I thought I had the calendar out right. But the Monday after next Monday, I will be doing the next section of chapter 5. Next Monday will be chapter 28 in Genesis, I think it is. Let me go take a look. I think it's 28. I have it marked. Yes. No, wait, hold on, sorry. 27. I believe it is 27 I am covering next week. Oops, there we go. No. Yes. No, I'm sorry, it is 28. Because I covered Jacob being blessed. So next week, like I said, it is the next Genesis chapter next Monday. And then the Monday after that one will be the next section of Matthew. Let me go take a look at my calendar, see what I have for this coming Thursday. Now, one of the things I really love about this little notebook is I have all my calendar, all my events written down on this. All right, so this coming Thursday is the butterfly knife segment. Okay, so I have these specifically that I'm going to be covering. So I have a couple of these I'll be using for this coming Thursday. I have that one, and I have this one right here as well. I will be covering what these are, what certain just basic terminology means, and the reason basically why I collect these. I will show you a couple of the knives I have in my collection and just kind of go from there. Like I said, like I mentioned in my last video, the reason why I'm doing these is because this makes up a very big collection we have, including the storage we have. We spent quite a bit of money on these, quite a bit. Last month we went to a gun and knife show where he spent $1,000 on 3 knives, and I spent $600 on 3 knives. This was one of them. Okay, this is, yes, granted, this is just a trainer knife, but it is a good toy that I like to play with. Well, not really a toy, it's I can put a blade into it. They do have these little rivets here. I can take them out, I can put a brew blade into it. The reason why I got this is because I can play with this at work, and I can practice opening, closing, etc., and not get in trouble. Same thing with this one. Again, I can play with this one at work as well and not get in trouble. But yes, that's the reason why I'm wanting to show you guys my knife collection, is because these make up such a big portion of my life, and something I really love and I'm really passionate about, and I really like collecting these. And I eventually one day I might pass them on to Nick when he gets older. So, plus too, there might be someone out there who likes knives, and you might want to come to see the other ones. You guys might want to see other knives we have. We do have a ton of daggers. We have, like I said, you guys can see, we got a ton of swords. We have katanas out on the living room. We have 2 bows right there. So I can do a weapons playlist if you guys really want to see more of our blades collection and whatnot, what we have. Just an idea. Not this Sunday, but the 12th. I think it's the 12th, or maybe it's that Saturday. I think it's a Saturday. I do have a rare video coming out where I'm going to be showing you guys Nick's bedtime routine. Maybe you guys can get an idea of like what it is I do at night, every single night with him, to get him ready for bed. With the exception of Sunday night, because I usually don't work Sunday night. So yes, next Monday is Genesis 28. And then the 20th is Mathew 5.2. So yeah, so it is 28 that I'm going to be doing next Monday. I just wanted to clarify, make sure it was the case. So yes, so like I said, I am posting. I am doing a lot more additional pages into my Bibles, like I told you. I have Genesis with co-pages in it. I have co-pages in John. Matthew now has a new page. I'll be posting more pages, or I'll be gluing more pages into my Bible based on me, whether or not I have a lot of sticky notes for that. So if you guys want to see my creative aspects of Bible studying, go check out my Instagram account. Go follow it. Go hit like, subscribe, whatever you want to call it. And follow my Instagram account, because like I said, I will be posting pictures. I'll be posting little snippets of me actually gluing in pages and how I'm decorating the pages, the additional pages I'm making, and so on and so on. Okay, I have these cool little tabs on my Bible. It's like these little cool little tabs right here. I have a ton of creative stuff set for my Bible plan, my Bible studies. So if you guys want to check those out, if you guys want to see them, go check my Instagram account out, because that's probably where I'm going to be putting all of them. I can't guarantee I'm going to put those shorts onto my YouTube here. Just saying. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to let you guys get going. You guys have a great week, and I will see you guys in the next video. All right. Oh, and sorry. Like, share, subscribe, comment, hit the bell notification, you get notifications. You guys know the drill. Alright, love you guys.